Alliance are going to have to be very wary of.
This could be a wraparound here. EGM sneaking in as the Invis Rune, and they're going to start this off with the Shadow Strike. There are 2 charges up on the Spirit Siphon though, so they're going to need to burst him. If he gets one off, they might have to disengage, but they get the lift. Then the drop comes through, and he's a bit late there on the Fairy Fire. He is Spirit Siphoning though, gets EGM. He ends up getting the first blood. Jules to the rescue. Potato Tornado. It looks like it's going to be a 2-0. Mineski salvaging that and coming out way on top.
Oh, it looked like for a second he'd made a mistake not using the Spirit Siphon earlier, but boy, does he barely survive. 2 null talismans, the extra survivability that he got from that. And then the Jules rotation on Tusk, that last second snowball. Oh my gosh, clutch plays coming out from the Mineski.
Is waiting for the opening. Doesn't really want to go on Loda though. He's looking for that Keeper of the Light, but Alliance playing very cautiously. They have the lane ward. The pings are coming out. And P into the tree line, and well, they're going to find the Bristleback here first. Way down to the south is Gandalf, but they've managed to cage the Armadillo, and they roll on with the spin. They grab another kill to 4. Meanwhile, mid lane as well. The action continues in earnest. Raging Potato, no supports to help him out, but the Spirit Siphon, enough for now, eventually does go down, so it's a 1-for-1.
Easily fight into them. You roll someone, there's potential for a snowball pickup to save them, so you can't reliably get that burst at the start of a fight, and that means that engaging the Mineski very difficult.
They're going to snowball. Speaking of which, onto Ake, takes the Walrus Punch, then the spin, and Ake goes down. Then they manage to block Loda back. Raging Potato wants a piece of that action.
So they're already on the offensive once again with the Aegis, and likely this last outer tower is going to be dropping 16.5 minutes in the game. At some point, the high ground push will come.
This game of keep away continues for Alliance, but Mineski are going to call for a game of chicken. Come home, Alliance. Your base is in trouble. Home is under siege. And meanwhile, mid, Alliance also sieging. They're going high ground too. Who's going to push faster here? We'll have to see. They work on it, but Bulldog does get caught by a snowball. There's the Walrus Punch as well. The tower's down, and Juggernaut spinning his way onto Bulldog. They're trying to bring down the Beastmaster. Goes for the TP out. Ain't going to happen. Ben-Hur able to finish him off with the assistance of Jules, so they give up a kill, Alliance too. They see it coming.
They want to fight while X is on cooldown, but at the same time, initiating on Death Prophet who has an Aegis, not ideal.
Oh, they are going to head up the hill. They find Jules first. That's a little bit sweeter, but Bimbo's gotten off a really nice nuke there from the Veil, and now they move on to Bulldog. The Exorcism coming. He's got a double Spirit Siphon. They cannot fight him head on. They're trying to kill up the backliners, but they've already lost 2. Big cores hitting the deck, and Loda coming next. EGM choked down. That's going to be 3. Mineski pushing for 4. Loda might be next. Just need one more auto attack. He turns his back. He heads for the hills. The wave of terror's there. They get him in the Sprout. They need that bench stun to complete it. The Quill stack up, but it's not enough. It's 4 down. Necro will finish off one lingering Mineski hero while Bimbo chases forward. That's 1. Angry Potato. He does the yours. Doesn't need it. It's a wipe. Mineski cleaning up there. It did cost them a buyback.
With the Hood of Defiance, he's just tanky himself, and it's kind of a bit more cost-effective approach to the game.
Mineski transitioning off of that Queen of Pain kill immediately into a push, but it's right as the Bristleback completed pipe comes out. Exorcism pop nice and early, but that blinding light does not matter against these ghosts that just pound into the tower. It's almost down. Glyph forced out. This time, no split push from Alliance. They'll be fighting this one head on, and we do see Bulldog wrapping around for the flank. Any second now, the Beastmaster could get the jump, but do Mineski realize they throw up the shards? They knew he was there. They did a vision behind them, and they snowball. Yep. Kill that pig.
The important thing for Mineski is not to get caught on the retreat with Exorcism wearing off.
Speaking of which, there is a Manta up here on Ben-Hur, so he's absolutely fine against this Orchid, and they continue to chase Bulldog. A bit lucky there, or unlucky with the shards rather, for Jules. And to the north side, the Queen of Pain ult comes through, but Raging Potato relatively healthy. Ben-Hur on the run. The Ghost chasing him back. Very discombobulated from Mineski. They are going to lose the Potato potentially here. Throws out the Yules, but Jules will fall. It could be him next as the stolen Exorcism goes to work. EGM completely wrecking Mineski. 3 hitting the deck. Game settling down now. A very even clash thus far. Only a 3,000 gold and 2,000 experience advantage for Mineski. It's felt like the tempo has been almost entirely theirs for most of the game, but here comes Alliance rumbling down towards the big rock in the pit. They want this Roshan. All cooldowns online for Mineski.
Oh, they've seen it though with the scan.
And they're working on it. The scan did come out, and they frantically scramble towards the pit. The Nature's Prophet has the teleport into the pit, ready to go. The entire Mineski squad are just bulldozing in already. Raging Potato has popped the ultimate, but he gets pushed onto the high ground by Ake. Not completely caught out, but is isolated from the fight, and they manage to get the Aegis here. S4 and Loda now feeling very confident to move in. There's the roll forward. Onto Bulldog. Raging Potato still working, but it's onto Loda. He's very tanky. Not an easy hero to bring down. Another Spirit Siphon. He shrugs it off. This Crimson Guard doing work as Baccarino will end up going down. The Nature's Prophet hits the deck. And Mineski, they do see some stragglers here, but they're very tanky ones. Gods, can they really kill off Loda? This Bristleback is not an easy grab. They're going to try. They silence S4. They roll onto him. They turn for the Queen of Pain. She's caught out. One more swipe. There's the Aegis down, but EGM sitting on the backside of this fight, just looking for spell steals, looking for a way to salvage it. S4 blinking back, and Mineski chasing forward. The Sprout ends up catching them in. EGM keeping them out of the fight, and Loda desperately juking through the trees, getting nuked down bit by bit. They finally, almost, not quite. They want to slay that beast, but he's still alive in the trees. These quills are too much. Kill that Armadillo, Mineski. There they go. Finally bringing him down, but it comes at cost. They've spent so long on the Bristle that Alliance get to clean up a few on the back lines. It ends up being 4 Mineski heroes dead. When the dust settles on Alliance, they race forward bottom. They're running up the hill. They're scouted by that dire ward. They're streaming towards the pit. Alliance setting up the ambush. It's going to be a good Keeper of the Light nuke to start, and they've caught out the Raging Potato. They have to save this Death Prophet. They snowball her forward into the middle of the entire Alliance squad. Juggernaut to the rescue. The Exorcism going back the other way. EGM, though, fairly squishy. Has to be careful not to go down. Mineski lurching in, eager for combat as S4 looks for the flank. He is going to get eyes here on Baccarino. The silence coming out, trying to burst down the NP. They do kill off EGM. Stolen Exorcism gone, and Loda could be next. Not quite finished off though, just so damn tanky, but they slow him down again. There's the perk from the Jug. Mineski have made it too. Buyback available on that Bristle if they want to pop it. Bulldog in the trees, make it 3 for Mineski, and the Roche almost certainly theirs unless Alliance blow a hell of a lot of buybacks. There's the Glyph, a fresh Sprout. Waiting for that next round of Treants. It's slow and steady for Mineski, but they do have the Blink Abyssal and the Jug, so at any moment he could go for an assassination here. And Exorcism is now committed. They rush forward onto Loda. There's the punch, spinning on him, laying into him with the Ghost. They want to kill Loda, and by golly, they will, but the Nature's Prophet is the cost. So far, 1 for 1, and they've got the power play now as Loda buys back. Mineski looks like they may need to retreat. They've also lost their Aegis. Raging Potato steady his ground, but a beautiful blinding light by Ake pushes him away from the team. Ben-Hur's back in. Potato wants to be as well. If they can kill Loda, that's a dieback. But there comes S4 unwinding with the Sonic Wave. Will slay another Death Prophet down for 70. Alliance holding and returning fire. There's the Shivas. The goo comes out, and down goes a third. Mineski have overplayed their hand. Alliance hold the high ground.
Looking to break back and take the lane of Rax for themselves.
Yeah, he animation canceled it a couple of times there, wanted to ensure that it snagged a kill, and indeed here it did. As Loda gets caught out, remember, that's a dieback if he goes down. It's very important they keep the Bristleback alive, but fortunately, Loda is insanely tanky as he continues to deal with all of the nukes and attacks being thrown his way, and now the Roar comes out onto Baccarino. Great swap back by Cass to save the day. Jules up in the air. Ben-Hur on the run. Alliance so far routing Mineski. They bring down 2. Mineski could be on their last legs here as Bulldog with the refresher finds the Roar, but it's Raging Potato to the rescue. He'll at least stop the bleeding for now, but they have lost that first and potentially decisive lane of Rax. Mineski not out of it yet. They will get the Bulldog kill, down for 70.
Be smart if he gets to the goal to do that.
Again deployed. And the siege round billion commences. They swap to start this one off. Cass does catch out Loda. This could be the dieback. Alliance need him. He runs. The snowball's in deep, perhaps a bit too far. Baccarino's gonna pay. Jules has dragged them into trouble, but S4 is getting beaten down by Ben-Hur. Raging Potato in very deep. Remember, he's got buyback, but he really doesn't want to have to use it. The Exorcism goes. Again, they lay into Loda. Man, he's taggy, but snowball number 2, not enough. It actually falls a bit short. The Sharks trapped him in, but these 4 steps from Alliance, keeping them in the fight, keeping them in the game. Mineski have pretty much unloaded their entire arsenal, and they have to run again. Bench down, Tusk as well, dead for a minute. Will Mineski lose more? Dropping the silence here. Raging Potato, he tries for the TP out. Is there anything else to cancel this? No, siree.
Nice. Committed to Shiva's Guard on Death Prophet. No buyback on Raging Potato. They really want to take this fight.
This will be a head-on clash. Alliance lanes are not that close where they can just go for the split push unless this turns into an incredibly long siege. The sigil flies high above the Mineski forces, and in comes Death Prophet once more under the breach. Will the third time, maybe the fifth time be the charm? They started off with a swap, Force-staffed and blinding lighted all over the place, but will be able to re-engage here. Still at full HP. Loda, though, really hurting, even with the Spirit Siping. Raging Potato struggling to bring him down. On the south side of the fight, though, they have isolated S4. They're going to Omni Abyssal him into submission, but now Raging Potato drops. No buyback. The all-in is backfired. Alliance hold, and now they push out. Bulldog on the chase. He's got the Hawk flying high, hunting the Nature's Prophet through the trees, goes for the self-sprout. Are they ready for this? They got the lift. They get the kill. Alliance have brought down 3, none of them with buyback. And the line is being drawn top here. A clear indication Mineski on a split push, but they're already down 1.5 lanes of racks. Can they really do it?
And split push is also just some cost-effective damage, but how much difference does a Desolator make? It's a bit of minus armor, a bit of physical damage, but that's, at the end of the day, what they need, as much physical damage as possible.
Well, Loda, they couldn't kill him once in the last fight, and now they've got to deal with S4 having 2, Wall sitting in the back lines. He will get sprouted out for the time being. The Spirit Siphon doing a lot of work. EGM just sitting back, waiting for good spells to steal, and suddenly Loda's back up to full HP as the heals from the Keeper of the Light continue to rain in. They punch S4 up in the air, but that's a hero they got to bring down not once, but 2 times. They lose Jules. There's the Queen of Payload, and they rush forward onto the Potato. Alliance get the Rage Racks. They might get more. Bimbo can't afford to die here, but die he will. Out for 80. He has a buyback, but he doesn't have an Exorcism, and this time Alliance might just skip and go straight for the throne. They had the stolen Exorcism once more. EGM lets it loose. Churning through Mineski buildings, banging on the front door. Nobody's home for Mineski. They just can't withstand the onslaught. Loda just stands and fights, and Mineski can't take the punishment. Heroes are falling. Buildings are crumbling. The end times are here for the Filipino squad. Down goes the melee, the ranged is all that remains, and a frantic rat game begins. But Alliance know how to deal with that. The Nature's Prophet heads to the top side, but it's far too late, it feels. Alliance are just going to stick around mid. They can't even easily get a full lane of Rax top. Will Ben-Hur be able to turn the tides? He does get the stun off on S4, but S4 jumping away, and now they have managed to catch up the MP. Oh, actually gets the Bulldog kill. A pretty big one, but it's Megas Gods. It's all in time for Mineski here.
Yeah, I mean, Megas says it all. You get a Rax or 2, it's not going to make that much of a difference. Bok is perhaps going to look for the EGM kill, but it's too late. He's committed, and Bulldog buying back.
And they're lurking on Aki. They do bring him down as well. That's 2 down, but another buyback is ready, and they haven't even chosen to spend it yet. Mineski just not getting structures off of these back and forth engagements. The kills are nice, but it's the buildings that win you the game, and so far Alliance have had the upper hand. This time, though, Loda may actually drop 2. That's going to be 3 heroes down, including the Bulldog death, but also having buyback is Loda. Alliance just making the right calls and being very patient in a clutch situation. Now they're going to rotate S4 bottom. He might even be able to kill off Pacarino if he's not careful. This Nature's Prophet does not have buyback. S4 creeping in. This could be the go for the jugular maneuver, and S4 slits his throat, and it's straight onto the towers now. Tier 4 dropping. Mineski, this could be checkmate.
Yeah, Bulldog's
S4 drags them back.
Bulldog's like, why do we need to defend? There is an exposed throne almost.
Do Mineski go for the enemy throne here? They're going to pop Exorcism. They're turning for Rax. It's just not happening fast enough for them.
LD.
Somebody has to go home, but sitting back to cancel TPs is EGM. Potato says, screw it. It's all in on the throne. They said, I'm only the toss to stall, but is it really enough? The throw dropping. Quickly it falls, and S4 blinks to the left with one last throw of a dagger. Down goes the throne, and Alliance move on. They survive. Mineski eliminated here at the Manila Major in front of a hometown crowd. A brutal way to go out. But it does set the stage for a Na'Vi versus Alliance showdown in the lower bracket.